Section 2. The Three Rhetorical Appeals. Discussion text, Plato, Phaedrus. Excerpt, circa 360 to 370 BC. Focus on analogy. Persuasion, in its best form, is described by Socrates as soul-leading through language. This definition, offered in Plato's Phaedrus, raises the following question: to where and from where is the soul being led? And it turns out that these two questions, where to and where from, are the opening words of the Phaedrus, a lively dialogue with the wiliness of rhetoric as its subject. In what follows, we will consider Socrates' conceptualization of the soul, the very thing that rhetoric leads. Plato knew the power behind a good comparison. In this passage, notice that Socrates takes what is abstract and difficult to understand, the inner workings of the human person, and creates an analogy, a comparative image for it. The soul is like a chariot. He goes on to explain exactly how that is so. Is his analogy persuasive to you? Of the nature of the soul, let me speak briefly, and in a figure, and let the figure be composite, a pair of winged horses and a charioteer. Now, the human charioteer drives his in a pair, and one of them is noble and of noble breed, and the other is ignoble and of ignoble breed, and the driving of them of necessity gives a great deal of trouble to him. As I said at the beginning of this tale, I divided each soul into three, 2 horses and a charioteer, and one of the horses was good and the other bad. The division may remain, but I have not yet explained in what the goodness or badness of either consists, and to that I will proceed. The right-hand horse is upright and cleanly made. He has a lofty neck and an aquiline nose. His color is white, and his eyes dark. He is a lover of honor and modesty and temperance, and the follower of true glory. He needs no touch of the whip, but is guided by word and admonition only. The other is a crooked, lumbering animal, put together anyhow. He has a short, thick neck. He is flat-faced and of a dark color, with gray eyes and blood-red complexion, the mate of insolence and pride, shag-eared and deaf, hardly yielding to whip and spur. Now when the charioteer beholds the vision of love, and he has his whole soul warmed through sense, and is full of the prickings and ticklings of desire, the obedient steed, then, as always under the government of shame, refrains from leaping on the beloved, but the other, heedless of the pricks and the blows of the whip, plunges and runs away, giving all manner of trouble to his companion and the charioteer, whom he forces to approach the beloved and to remember the joys of love. They at first indignantly oppose him and will not be urged on to do terrible and unlawful deeds. But at last, when he persists in plaguing them, they yield and agree to do as he bids them. And now they are at the spot, and behold the flashing beauty of the beloved, which when the charioteer sees, his memory is carried to the true beauty, whom he beholds in company, with modesty, like an image placed upon a holy pedestal. He sees her, but he is afraid, and falls backwards in adoration, and by his fall is compelled to pull back the reins with such violence as to bring both the steeds on their haunches, the one willing and unresisting, the unruly one very unwilling. And when they have gone back a little, the one is overcome with shame and wonder, and his whole soul is bathed in perspiration. The other, when the pain is over which the bridle and the fall had given him, having with difficulty taken breath, is full of wrath and reproaches, which he heaps upon the charioteer and his fellow steed, for want of courage and manhood, declaring that they have been false to their agreement and guilty of desertion. Again they refuse, and again he urges them on, and will scarce yield to their prayer that he would wait until another time. When the appointed hour comes, they make as if they had forgotten, and he reminds them, fighting and neighing and dragging them on, until at length he, on the same thoughts intent, forces them to draw near again. And when they are near, he stoops his head and puts up his tail, and takes the bit in his teeth and pulls shamelessly. Then the charioteer is worse off than ever. He falls back like a racer at the barrier, and with a still more violent wrench, drags the bit out of the teeth of the wild steed, and covers his abusive tongue and jaws with blood. and forces his legs and haunches to the ground and punishes him sorely. And when this has happened several times, and the villain has ceased from his wanton way, he is tamed and humbled, and follows the will of the charioteer. And when he sees the beautiful one, he is ready to die of fear. And from that time forward, the soul of the lover follows the beloved in modesty and holy fear.